Welcome back to winter, everybody. We're seeing some snow and cool temperatures in the forecast. Thanks for joining us. I'm Trisha Swenson here in the Grand Hyatt Vail studio. We got Leah pushing the buttons on the controls, our producer here this morning. But it is a Wednesday. We've got April 19th. So, wow, almost all the way through the month of April, and the weather has changed. But thanks for joining us today. We're going to tell you all the things that are going on for Vail's closing week. We already shut down the Beeve, and things are changing around here. You can just tell there's a kind of change in the air with people getting ready to leave town, maybe do that off-season vacation. A lot of jobs are wrapping up for the season, especially if you've worked in the on the mountain, up in the food service industry, maybe at one of the ski and snowboard shops, maybe at one of the the different childcare, the ski school. A lot of those jobs are coming to an end, and people are making plans to get the heck out of here. But let's find out what's going on with the weather and details on that. Well, it's going to be cooler today. That's going to be the big thing to remember. So we aren't going to see 60 degrees at all. We're going to see highs only into the low 40s for today. Now, we're still pretty warm from yesterday just because of the cloud cover that's covering a lot of the valley. When I left Edwards this morning, there were just some light flurries. Got to Vail, it wasn't quite happening yet. So we'll see that come as the day moves on. But snow showers, according to the National Weather Service, mainly after 12 noon. Some thunder is also a little possible. A high in the low 40s. Winds not going to be as gusty as yesterday. So today we'll see west wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as about 25 miles per hour. Now the chance of precipitation is 60% today, moving to a little bit more tonight. And so even this evening, we'll have some scattered and isolated snow showers. Thursday, same kind of thing. Snow showers likely after 12 noon, a little thunder possible. The high tomorrow will only reach into the 30s. So it'll be a little bit cooler for you. And then we're dropping down into the teens overnight. So look at those overnight lows. By Friday, down to almost 10 degrees, 11 degrees above zero. But wind chill factor could come into play a little bit on that. And then as we move into Saturday, we could still see that snow lingering and a high bumping up a little bit into the low 40s. And then by Sunday, yesterday they were calling for a sunny day. Now they're only calling for partly sunny, but warmer temperatures, 51 degrees. So I think we could still have a nice closing day. Now, as we look at the forecasted snow totals, maybe 2 inches out of the storm for Wednesday, maybe a little bit more for Thursday, and then some lingering snow, a couple of inches of accumulation as we go into the weekend. And if we get that 11, that'll bump us above the seasonal average of 354. We're at 345 right now. And so we're hoping we get to that. But Beaver Creek is closed for the season. They still give us the weather for that and everything. But hey, this Weather and Mountain Report brought to you by the outlets at Silverthorne. If you want to drive over there and do a little shopping, you can do so. They have outlets on both sides of the interstate. Exit 205, about a half-hour drive away from the valley. So that's a quick look at your weather. And then also wanted to remind you, if you want to chat with us during the live morning show, we're live 7:30 to 8:30 Mountain Daylight Time. So put your question into the chat, and you can do so at Facebook or YouTube. And you can always watch us on Outside TV on Cabcast Channel 17. And Outside TV, they're changing their kind of broadcasting to Outside Watch. So that should be a neat little change that's going to be coming up. But a few more things that are going on. We've got a lot of things happening, but let's take it to a break, and we'll be back with more.
Hi, I'm Peggy Ziegler, fashion guru and stylist for the outlets at Silverthorne. I'm here to share with you an amazing place called the Colorado Welcome Center. We've got fabulous brochures on all the nearby places and towns and things to do right here while you're in Summit County and visiting the outlets at Silverthorne. And of course, pick up your Elite Savings Card booklet, offering you fabulous discounts and a rewards program too. See you soon.
Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery is kind of a one-stop shop. We have everything in-house.
We have cast techs, MRI machines, x-ray of course right at the clinic, physical therapy right at our clinic.
I'm going to get to the bottom of what your diagnosis is with all the resources we have, and that's what we do.
At My Future Pathways, our mission is to be the helping hand that enriches and elevates the lives of youth and families of our valley so they can reach their full potential. Through our holistic approach, our tutoring service and programming strengthen our community, develop self-worth, create opportunities, and promote values. We are My Future Pathways.
Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery stands for providing the highest quality care to our unique patient population here in the mountains.
I think that what makes us unique is that we really are practicing groundbreaking techniques, yet, we practice it in a small town environment. Our patients are our neighbors and our kids go to school with their kids.
I think every one of our docs treat their patients like their family. Our goal is to keep you active, doing the things you want to do, and we'll map out a road to success to get you there. My name is Dr. Bill Sterrett. I'm with Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery. So I'm just going to she put a whole bunch of questions in here. I'm going to pull one out and see what it says. I hear so much about females and their ACL injuries. Why do female athletes have so many more ACL injuries than males? There's 3 modifiable factors, meaning you can control and maybe prevent your next ACL injury or your daughter's ACL injury. And there are 3 things you just can't control. It's just anatomically. The things you can't control, unfortunately, women have a smaller ACL than a guy. The female's ACL is about 30% smaller and 30% weaker. Second thing that's probably the biggest factor I see all the time is this term called hyperlaxity, or being loose jointed. Our elbows hyperextend, our knees hyperextend. We can put our palms flat on the ground when we bend over to touch our toes. If you're loose jointed, you have a 4 to 5 times higher rate of tearing your ACL than if you're not loose jointed. Fortunately or unfortunately, women tend to be more loose jointed than guys. The third thing that you just can't control, women tend to be born a little bit more knock-kneed. And when you stand up, look down, if you can touch your knees, but your ankles can't touch together, then you're knock-kneed. If you can touch your ankles together, but your knees don't touch, then you're bow-legged. So the things you can't control, being knock-kneed, unfortunately, being loose-jointed, and just having a smaller ACL straight out of your upbringing. Let's talk real quickly about the things we can control. When we've done studies, and we've published on this, that women in their jumping and landing patterns, women tend to land more straight-legged. Probably has to do with just that knock-kneed things and some of the other factors that we talked about, trying to protect it with the bony architecture. But landing straight-legged puts that ACL at much, much higher risk. It's already at tension. All it takes is a minor twist or a little more hyperextension. It will tear that ACL. The second factor that you can actually modify, we want the kneecap to go right over the second toe. So as you go into a more flexed position, just make sure your kneecap is going right over your second toe. It's easy to do. So the third factor, how does that come about? Why are we going into this dynamic valgus? Well, it has to do with weak gluteal muscles. You can change that. So your gluteal muscles are what help prevent that dynamic valgus or that knock-kneed as you're diving down in. Those 3 things, if you can land a little more flexed position, as you're flexing down, get your kneecaps over your second toe, and then preventatively really work not only on just quadriceps, because we all know get your quads and hamstrings strong before you go skiing, but every sport, work on your gluteal muscles as well. You're going to protect your knees a lot better having a balanced muscle attack at it. I hurt my knee today skiing. How do I know if it's bad enough that I need to go to the emergency room? Great question. When in doubt, you need to see somebody just for safety's sake. By and large, the injuries that are bad enough that you should be seen get very swollen very quickly. If you develop a whole bunch of swelling inside your knee within the first 2 hours after an injury, it's usually blood, and there's only about 3 things that can cause blood inside of a knee from an injury within the first couple hours. It's a fracture. So you could have a little fracture that's not bad enough that you had to get carted off, but a fracture will cause a bunch of bleeding inside your knee. The most common one we see is an ACL tear. ACL tears will bleed because there's a little blood vessel right inside the middle of the ligament there, and that will bleed. Fill up the knee with blood within the first 2 hours. By and large, if you heard a pop and it got swollen within the first 2 hours, and when you stood on it, it felt unstable, more than a 90%, closer to a 95% chance you tore your ACL. The third thing is that you could have dislocated your kneecap. If you dislocate your kneecap, you would probably know what you're dealing with. Feeling of instability, lots of swelling, and heard and felt a pop. Should probably get in, have it looked at. If not tonight, then tomorrow by one of the orthopedic surgeons in this valley. We've got a whole bunch of the best in the world. We really do. For whatever reason, for lots of great reasons, this small Vail Valley has become an orthopedic center of excellence for the world. Don't hesitate to come in and see any of us here. Everybody does a great job, and we'll take great care of you. What is an ACL? What does it do, and why do I even need it? I just happen to have brought a little knee model here. This is a right knee. All the ligament is a band of tissue that connects one bone to another bone and crosses a joint. 4 ligaments about the knee, north, south, east, and west if you want to think about it, but the outer side is the smallest one. This is the LCL, or fibular collateral ligament, lateral collateral ligament. That stops us from doing that, obviously. This big one right here, we don't hear so much about it, but it's the most common one injured on that ski hill. This is the MCL, or medial collateral ligament. That stops us from doing too much of this. If you think about why it might be torn in sports, and especially skiing, because we're always loading up the inner side of the ski like that, and so we've constantly got the MCL on stretch. The biggest one in the knee is actually in the back of the knee that you don't hear so much about. It's called the posterior cruciate ligament. What that does, and you can see this hopefully on that camera, if I push the tibia, this is the tibia, this is the femur, push the tibia backwards, that's what stretches the PCL and tears it. On to the ACL, what you guys asked about. This is the ACL. Looks like a little benign, innocuous little ligament that connects the femur to the tibia. It's right in the center of the knee. Goes at a little bit of an angle like that. We need the ACL to stop us from twisting. So the ACL is there. You go skiing, moguls, cutting, twisting in soccer, volleyball, anything else, and we twist like this. That ACL tightens up. There's no muscle to fire, but that tightening just brings us back to the center. You twist the other way, so you're going right, going left, going right, going left. ACL stops us from going too far forward. Well, once that ACL is torn, there's nothing to stop us. So now you can twist, 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 and watch how much twisting we can do without that ACL. You can actually dislocate the knee, and you're putting a lot of shear strain on this, the cushion cartilage. You can live without an ACL. There's nothing, you're not gonna hurt all the time or anything else. Your knee will feel normal. But living without an ACL and continuing to do all these sports just puts your knee at an astronomically high risk of chewing up that meniscus, which then you will be coming to see us with arthritis. We'd much rather see you to prevent that scenario rather than treat the scenario. Take care of your ACL, but if you tear it, that's what you're gonna do, is put your meniscus and the cartilage at risk within the knee.
Welcome back to Vail Valley Live. Great information from Dr. Starrett at Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery. Once again, if you have a nagging injury that's been going on for a couple years, or something just happened this season, talk to the pros, and they can really help you come up with a plan to get you back out there, because you don't want to be sedentary. We got too many beautiful things to do outside, even in the springtime, even when it's starting to snow out here once again. But want to let you know that there is a crash on eastbound I-70. The road is closed at 176. So that's big news in case you're trying to get to the airport, in case you are trying to get over to Summit County. So this was updated today as about 7:37 a.m. So the mile marker is 176. Road closed, expect delays due to a crash. If you're trying to come into Vail, I think you could still get off on that exit and make it into the Vail Village parking structure. But if you're trying to go up to Vail Pass, you're going to be out of luck for a little while. And we'll keep an eye on that this morning. And then otherwise, looking pretty good throughout the I-70 corridor, all the way through Frisco to the Eisenhower Tunnel. We're looking good. If you see plow trucks out, they're probably pushing snow off on the sides. They're not really moving anything. And we're not going to see a lot of moisture out of this, maybe 2 to 4 inches next couple of days, a little bit each day. But with the moisture, that could really cause problems with the cooler temperatures we're seeing. So I could see some ice buildup, and that could wreak some havoc later on throughout the storm cycle that's lasting not only today and tonight, but the next couple of days. So just be aware of that. And then another thing that I noticed on the cotrip.org website, over in the Gypsum Eagle area. So there is some fire activity between exit 129, Bear Ranch, 1 mile west of Dotsero, and exit 157, Colorado 131, Walcott, 7 miles west of Edwards. And so there's some fire activity. The U.S. Forest Service is conducting a prescribed burn. So if you see smoke, don't call 911. This is all part of their plan. It's a prescribed burn. So once again, if you do see smoke, do not call 911. So that's going to be kind of between like Gypsum and Dotsero, and even out towards the Walcott areas. So just to let you know what's going on out there. But also to let you know what's going on, the Vail Daily. We're going to give you your headlines for today. Lots of good stories in there today. And of course, just find your friends on the cover. Take a look. It's Debbie of Wildridge. She is walking Duffy, the white Scottish Terrier, in their neighborhood up by Wildridge. Unfortunately, the West Avon Preserve they usually walk is still closed due to snowpack trails. So we talked about this last week, where even though April 15th typically means the end of seasonal trail closures, not the case this year, just with the abundance of snow that we've received throughout the season. So that's okay. We loved all the snow this winter, so you're gonna have to just maybe walk on some pavement with a little old Duffy. All right. On the cover today, last call at Moe's Original. Citing challenges of maintaining a staff amid a housing crunch, owners of barbecue franchise closed their original storefront location in Lion's Head. So you can read all about this, kind of get the vibe of what the feeling was like and the camaraderie. And many people showed up for this on Saturday. They usually do a crawfish boil to end the season, but this was the one to end it all. And you can read more about it on page A3 and page A9. It's an end of an era as Moe's closes in Lion's Head. Also in today's news, this was another great story. Buzz gives away $8,000 in gear. Well, it was all part of a 40th anniversary party, which packed Shakedown Bar in Vail Village. Buzz's son, Johnny Schlepper, and his band played. Scott Redner, who owns Shakedown Bar, he was a part of the band that night. There you could see we've got Buzz holding up the poster that his son Hunter put together. So it's really neat, all the big celebration. And it's great to see Buzz still out there. He skis every day. He loves it, and he has many employees that have been with him for decades. So find out more about this great shop in Vail and their 40th anniversary on page A5. And then also the county is planning more housing in Edwards. So that's a hot topic around here. The commissioners put a deposit on 20 modular units, and modular living units, they go up pretty quick, and they're pretty inexpensive to build. So that should help, at least help work towards the housing problem in our valley. And then in sports and outdoors, Ski and Snowboard Club Vail hosts Spring Series at Golden Peak. It's a 4-day tech event, featured many of the country's top club and NCAA athletes. So ski racing still happening over at Golden Peak. And then in the arts and entertainment, taking notes. Vail Jazz Goes to School treats students to a little live music at the Villar Performing Arts Center. Now, this is a really fun event that Vail Jazz has been doing for over 25 years. And what's cool about it is they do classroom sessions throughout the different elementary and middle schools for 4th and 5th graders, because that's typically when the students decide whether or not they're going to join band and whether or not they are, what instrument they're going to play. Leah, did you play an instrument in high school? or elementary? You electric guitar. She tried. Hey, you can always pick that up. That's a good lifelong skill to learn. I played the saxophone. I wanted to play the drums. I also kind of wanted to play the string bass because then it would roll into guitar later on. But I went with the sax. It was a lot of fun. Are we going to show that video? So what's really cool is that, so I was at the Villar Center for this night, and this is the multi-piece band. On piano is Drew Zaremba. He's their new regional artistic director. This was during their dance party. Okay, so they had two 75-minute concerts with the two different groups that came in. And Drew, when he was planning kind of the program, he was like, well, these kids are going to get a little antsy throughout the 75 minutes. So they had a little jazz dance party right in the middle of that, and just a nice thing. Alpine Bank is a huge supporter of this, and what they do is they introduce the students to so many of the greats of jazz music, whether it's Ella Fitzgerald, Miles Davis, Dizzy Gillespie, Benny Goodman, and they kind of go through the history of it. And they do a lot of that in the classroom, and then they perform on stage. Another thing they do is called the 12-bar blues. And that's a certain pattern, a certain way of writing a song. And so the kids all submitted a couple lines of lyrics in the 12-bar blues. And then they had the 4 winners out there. It was a lot of fun, pretty funny lyrics as well. They even had one about a smelly gym teacher. So really cool. And it's so glad that Vail Jazz is coming back in full force. They're going to be doing all their activities, whether it's at the farmers market and their big event that's happening on Labor Day. You know, they had a couple of losses last year when founder Howard Stone passed away, and then longtime local musician who was deeply involved and was part of Vail Jazz Goes to School, Tony Galizia. So it's great to see this Jazz Goes to School program carrying on, and looks like they're going to be doing all sorts of fun things this season with the 29th annual Vail Jazz. They'll be doing their Thursday night concerts once again over in Lion's Head, and after those concerts earlier in the evening, they're going to take you over to the Airbell at Vail Square, and they're going to call that Howard's Hangout, and that's where they'll continue the music. And then, of course, the farmers market will be a great place for this. Wonderful returning artists. It's been such a legacy. I think they've been going for, 35 years now? So check this out. It's vailjazz.org for more details. But speaking of music, we've got some opera music going on today. So if you are looking for where to go after the slopes close, well, Matt Garth, who played at Drunken Goat last night, Matt is everywhere. I think Matt plays more places than any other musician. He's going to be at the Sun and Up Hotel from 7 to 9. So all week long, they're going to have the music at King's Club Lounge. You can get a bite to eat, you can hang out right there. So he'll be there from 7 to 10. Ein Prosit, they're hosting an open mic night, and that'll also be from 7 to 10 down Valley if you want to head to Avon. And then for your Thursday, we got Johnny Magambo playing an early and late set at the Red Lion, 4 to 6, and then again 9 to 11. And then John Dunn, he'll be at the Sun and Alp tomorrow. So there are still a few places that are doing some live music. And another place that you won't want to miss this week, it's the Vail Chop House. It's the last week of the Phil Long shows. So he'll play tonight, Wednesday, all the way through Saturday. Get your reservations for this. It's a great time. He plays a lot of your favorites. It's kind of a sing-along type of thing. He interacts with the audience a lot. But I had a chance to chat with him at Yeti's Grind. Let's find out more about this legendary singer who's been playing Vail for decades. Welcome to Locals and Legends. We're at Yeti's Grind in Vail Village, talking to the one, the only entertainer here in the Vail Valley, Phil Long. Thank you so much for being a part of this today.
Well, I'm so honored to be here with you, Tricia.
Well, good to have you here. We're at the Vail Village location of Yeti's Grind. What's your choice? What do you like to get when you come here?
I'm a black coffee guy, and they have the best coffee in town, and I also love their panini. I like that turkey and avocado panini, and they have a great little croissant in the morning too, which I like, and I visit them often in Eagle.
Okay, all right, yeah, so he knows the drill. He knows why we're here. But we want to talk a little bit about your career. You've been playing in the Vail Valley opera ski music for how many decades now?
About 37 years.
Oh
So that's, yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
I'm an old man.
And you're from the Denver area.
I'm from
So
Broomfield.
You knew about, the mountains and skiing and everything, but what made you decide to go into this line of music?
I think the decision was made for me.
Yeah.
I never really decided. I just told my parents when I graduated from college that I just wanted to try music. And my dad said, okay, well, make sure you have your health insurance. And so, I mean, literally, and I'm not figuratively, literally, I felt like after 20 years, I was still doing it. And then I was still doing it, and I was still doing it.
Well, and opera ski is such a part of the day here. It's such a part of people's trips and the atmosphere. I mean, the skiing's great. We've got wonderful mountains, but when you can come and hang with your friends, talk about your day over a beer, some nachos, sing along to some tunes, and I think that's where you really set yourself apart is you're so interactive with the crowd. And why do you feel that that's important?
Well, I think probably, to be honest with you, I was not a very strong player when I started. I felt like I was behind the game. There were so many good players when I started here in the late 80s or the mid 80s. And I just wanted to be a really great salesman. I wanted to get to know people and I wanted them to like me. And so I think that I realized that was an important piece of the puzzle. And after you see people for 5 or 10 or 3 or 37 years in a row, they just become your friends and you're playing like in your living room.
Well, and you know what? And you do a great job of getting the crowd involved and getting them involved with meeting each other. And I will admit, even though I met my husband in 2009, we did re-meet at one of your shows. And I call Phil Long the Match.com. Before there was Match.com, I know so many people that met at a Phil Long show, and they come back and tell you, they show you the pictures of their kids and everything.
Well, in the old days at the Red Lion, I probably introduced 50 couples who got married.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. No, I believe it.
So yeah, I'm very proud of that.
I know. And now you're over at the Vail Chop House.
That's
and that's
right.
in Lion's Head, and it's still going strong, and you still have a packed house all the nights you play, pretty much Wednesday through Saturdays, your regular route.
That's right.
Do you have a favorite set of songs you like to play, or do you have a favorite artist that you like to play for the group?
I really don't. The most fun thing is to play things that people ask for, that that they want to hear, and that becomes my favorite for that moment. And occasionally I get to do something that's I haven't done in a while. People will say, can you play whatever, Dave Mason, and I'm like, oh yeah, haven't played this song in a long time. And so that becomes kind of a fun part of my night for them to pick out something, and I go, oh yeah, I know that song, and yeah.
Well, have you met any famous people while you've had this?
Besides you? Oh my gosh, I don't know. You're pretty top of the line. I've met so many. I mean, everybody from Lennox Lewis to, I don't know, Joe Walsh to Lennox, who else? OJ.
Yeah.
The Indigo Girls, Edwin McCain, so many great people come in all the time, and still to this day, Super Joe, shuffles in with his, with the trophy from, from the hockey,
Oh, yeah,
I mean, all those guys are just a bunch of nice.
Oh, and the Clemson coach, Dabo Sweeney, he'll pop in there.
Yeah.
So.
Those Manning boys will drop in from time to time, and it's really fun. It's just, and I'm pretty starstruck, so I kind of stay away from them. I don't really bug them.
I'm gonna keep my piano as the buffer.
I'm just kind of weird, I get a little bit quiet, and I'm just like, that's that person, So I'm a celebrity watcher. I love it.
Okay, perfect. Do you have any advice for your younger self? Like, knowing what you know now, what kind of advice would you give yourself?
Well, in career, I'd say take chances early because you don't have anything to lose, because, I certainly spent a lot of my 40s and 50s taking big chances, and it's a little scarier. And just for career-wise, I worked really hard at my craft, and so I tried as hard as I could to get better all the time, and so from that part, I'm proud of myself. and I'm proud that I didn't just jump around all the time. Had I not stayed at the Red Lion for so long, I would never become an owner.
Yeah.
And I would have never met some of, the great people that have helped me along the way.
Well, we're glad that you are still playing the keyboard, the guitar, making matches, a matchmaker out there. I know you got a gig, so we got to let you go. But of course, if we want to see you, you're over at the Vail Chop House. And what nights?
I do Wednesday through Saturday, pretty much all the time, and sometimes a little bit more than that, and 3 to 6, Wednesday through Saturday.
Yeah, come on down and see
Come on over.
Get reservations, because it's a busy place. Thanks so much, Phil. Good to see you.
Thank you,
Cheers.
my pleasure. Cheers.
Join us every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and watch Vail Valley Latino. Our goal is to elevate the voices of the Latino community in the Eagle River Valley and provide a platform to speak with local businesses, organizations, entrepreneurs, creatives, and much more. Find the show on Facebook, YouTube, and Outside Television Channel 17. We are Vail Valley Latino.
This Weather and Mountain Report is brought to you by Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery, keeping you active. Welcome back to Vail Valley Live. I think our weather is a little confused out there right now. I had flurries when I was driving in from Edwards. I just talked to John, the general manager here at the Grand Hyatt Vail. He said he almost had a whiteout driving in from Eagle, but we've got blue skies above us outside in Vail. So this storm, we might see more of this snow mainly afternoon. That's what the National Weather Service is calling for. It's not going to be a big, huge storm, maybe just kind of that 1 to 2 to 4 as we go through the 24-hour period. And our temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler today. So we'll top out around 40 instead of, I think, yesterday. Wow, what a warm day it was. 50, 52, almost 60 down valley. And then for tonight, we're going to drop down into the teens and 20s for you. And then for your Thursday, we'll be a little bit cooler, right around 30 as a daytime high. Overnight lows dropping down to the teens. And then we're going to see on Friday 30% chance of showers, and our daytime high will be right around the 30s once again. Overnight lows down into the teens and low 20s, kind of depending on where you're at. And then even Saturday, a chance of snow showers. We could see a little sun kind of popping in and out this weekend, especially by the time we get to Sunday. But even by Monday, they're saying rain and snow showers likely, and a high of in the 50s. So it's going to be kind of a mixed bag as we go into Vail's closing weekend. We did close Beaver Creek last Sunday. Oh, what a fun day. They had a beautiful day for closing. So it's just nice to see and just kind of celebrate what a wonderful year we've had. Hey, I want to check in with the chat. I want to say hi to Alpine Holiday Services. She's saying that eastbound I-70 176 is now open. Yes. You know what? We just checked that on the road report. And that main Vail exit is back open for eastbound I-70. So thank you for the little tip there. And then over on our Facebook page, LA, she's chiming in. She's saying, Phil rocks. Yeah, Phil Long, you got to go see him. He's around today from 3 to 6. And good morning. So good morning to you, LA. Where are you watching from, LA? Are you on another one of your fabulous trips? Are you in Alaska? Hey, you know what? We got to talk about this. You know, I know when LA went to Alaska, she showed us pictures of the aurora borealis, the northern lights. Well, there is a Lyrid shower. Have you heard of this, Leah? It's so this Friday and this Saturday, if we get some clear skies, clear enough to see, you might have a good chance of seeing some of the meteor showers. It's called the Lyrid shower. And with the moon kind of waning, it's giving us a better opportunity to see these. So think about that this Friday and Saturday, the Lyrid shower, right around 9 p.m. for our area is when they could say we could see the most. Okay, wait, LA is saying she's at home now, just returned from Alaska. All right, I want to see some pictures, LA. And then she's going to New England soon. Well, LA, a lot of people here are taking their off-season trips as well. We're so excited to be getting to go somewhere. I'm going to Mexico. Leah, I have not been gone for like a full week since my honeymoon, I think. Well, actually, no, I went biking in Mallorca a couple years ago, but it's kind of cool to take that full 1 week trip. And Eagle County schools, a lot of them are out next week as well. And just a reminder that Vail Valley Live will wrap up our show at the end of the season, and we'll be back this summer, probably mid-June. So just want to give you that little update on what's kind of happened with us. But okay, Leah, where are we heading next? Oh, okay. So a few more things going on this week. So if you're in town, kind of enjoying the last week of things, a fun staple of things to do. They always have something going on. One of my favorite little places in Riverwalk is the Alpine Arts Center. Lauren Merrill opened this many, many years ago, just kind of on a whim. And it's been so successful and such a great part of our community. So what they're doing this week, they're doing a cocktails, cooking, and clay. So the cooking's the new part. I've heard of the cocktails and clay, but come delight in the night of cocktails, cooking, and clay. It's going to be an ocho of sake while making a California roll. Okay, this is pretty cool. So it's going to be a collaborative evening with the Kitchen Conservatory. They're going to make a clay sushi platter. Look at that. That is adorable. And then a soy sauce dish. Oh my God, say that 3 times. Soy sauce dish. Oh my God, I'm gonna just leave it to the website. And then so 2 California rolls, and then a choiko of sake. All clay materials, instruction, all the firing, the glazing, everything. Now the projects will be ready to pick up in approximately 2 weeks. Because you got to have that all set up and the glazing being done, but shipping can be arranged for an additional fee, or if you prefer to glaze your own piece, you may opt out of that for a half price drop-in fee. So this is really cool. Go to the website alpineartscenter.org for more details, and you can check this out. They're going to have another cocktails and canvas this week too. So this is going to be on Friday, I believe, and they'll have something else over the weekend also. Now, another thing going on this weekend, it is Big Fish the musical. Did you get those photos that I sent you of this? All right, so it is spring production time, whether we're talking ballet, ice skating. I know the Vail Skating Club, they had their show last week. The Vail Youth Ballet Company had their show last week. A lot of the area high schools, we just had Mamma Mia, our very own Meredith Kirkman was involved in that. But we've got the Vail Christian High School, and I think Meredith has been helping out with the choreography for Big Fish as well. Do you remember Big Fish? This movie came out in 2003. Tim Burton directed it. It was based on a novel. It's been adapted into a Broadway musical. And if you remember this, it kind of follows the story of Edward. He's the father and Will's the son, and Edward just has these big tall tales, and everything from thwarting a sniper attack, catching the uncatchable fish, saving a town, and his son kind of thinks his dad is just full of it, and he's just like, okay, I don't quite understand this. Well, it's going to be so neat the way they've adapted this to the stage. And Vail Christian High School, they've got about a third of their student body that's involved in this. 50 kids are part of the cast and crew. The first show is on Thursday night. It's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 7 p.m. and then 2:30 on Saturday. There'll be a matinee. So you can bring the littler ones to it, or if it just kind of fits better into your schedule, you can do that. So, but I just love theater production, and I think it does so many things for children, not children, these young adults, as they embark into the real world after this. You know, all that experience on stage goes so far. So this will be just right there at Vail Christian High School in Edwards at their Grace Auditorium. And if you want to get tickets in advance, you can do so. I believe it's $15 for adults, $10 for students, $5, and then the kids, the little ones, are free. So yeah, so check that out. That is going to be going on this weekend. And then a few more other things happening in the music world. Okay, so the Altitones are celebrating their 10-year anniversary, and they're going to be playing at Agave, and they're also going to be celebrating the life of their good friend Jude Wargo. So this should be a great time. It's going to be on Friday night, and tickets are just $10, general admission. And if you've never been to a show at Agave, Richard did such a great job with the build out and the remodel and the staging of everything of where you can watch from. It's really a cool venue. And hey, get a taco or two when you get there beforehand, and then stick around for the show. And then another thing that's going on, so Trees Don't Move, this wonderful band, they're I don't know if they're still in high school or if they just graduated, but they're a local band. They're doing a show at Shakedown. This is an afternoon show on Saturday. So it starts at 1:30. It's going to feature 3 bands. So if you want to maybe go skiing up on the mountain, do some riding beforehand, and then come down to Shakedown and get your party started early, because Trees Don't Move, Scuffed, and Your Robot Overlords, who were voted one of the best bands in the Vail Daily's Reader Contest, they're going to be just shaking things up at the Shakedown Bar at the top of Bridge Street. So that should be a lot of fun on Saturday. And then also, going down all the way to Gypsum, we've got Sippin' Saturdays, and this is at the 10th Mountain Whiskey Distillery. Now, 10th Mountain Whiskey Company, they've got their showroom and their little bar right on Bridge Street. It's really great, a quaint little location. They usually have live music there as well, and it's a great way to pick up a souvenir, because if you need to buy something for someone back home, they've got awesome t-shirts of different clothing. They also have wonderful bottles you can buy of vodka, of whiskey. They're little jars of kind of moonshine, if you will. They've got it all, but it all happens down in Gypsum. So they've got Sippin' Saturday with Troy Harris. He's going to play on Saturday night from 7 to 10 p.m. So head down Valley. This should be just pretty cool to check out. His style, kind of little modern and classic rock, country covers. So he was born and raised in the Vail Valley, and he's played Sippin' Saturdays before. So we're bringing him back. So that'll be 7 to 10 at 10th Mountain Whiskey. So just a few things going on here. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Hot Summer Nights, because they just released the lineup. So we want to let you know about that. So stay with us. We've got some breaking news on who's coming to the Moe's Original Barbecue Hot Summer Nights at the Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater.
We believe in the power of a live performance. We believe in making memories together. Join us as we celebrate 25 years of making moments that last a lifetime. Bringing concerts, comedy, Broadway, classical, dance, and family entertainment in the heart of the Rocky Mountains in Beaver Creek Village. View the full lineup and get tickets today at villarpack.org.
Welcome to Nap Harvest. We are showcasing healthy habits, and you can start right here feeding your family healthy organic vegetables and fruits that are seasonal and local. They're all the way from Arizona with our wonderful, beautiful citrus fruits that we sneak across the border for. But don't forget our nap mushroom. Grown at 9,000 feet, mushrooms are chock full of benefits for you. And then also the microgreens, also chock full of vitamins. Come see us at Nap Harvest in Eagle Ranch on Sylvan Lake Road next to Color Coffee. We're open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturdays and Sundays, 10 to 4.
It's one of my favorite things to do in the summer. It's the Hot Summer Nights concerts, typically on Tuesdays. We're going to add a couple of Thursdays in this season's lineup as well. But these are free concerts over at the Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater. So what you do is you basically leave work, or maybe you've been hiking or biking all day. You come on over, and it really even doesn't matter who's playing because it's free, and it's just a great time to enjoy that venue. If you've never seen an outdoor venue like that, it is a perfect opportunity to do so. I'd like to bring friends in from out of town if they happen to be here on a Tuesday night. That's definitely our go-to plan on the schedule. But let's let you know what's going to be going on. So this is brought to you by Moe's Original Barbecue. It's the Hot Summer Nights annual free concert series. It kicks off on Tuesday, June 20th, and we're going to be going all the way through September 7th. And then we've got, all the barbecue, all the things that you can enjoy with the concession stand, drinks. You could bring your own picnic, but if you don't have time or if you don't have the skills, hey, you don't have to. So each night when they do it, gates open at 5:30. Music will start at 6:30. So it's kind of nice is you do get home early. It doesn't go late at all. But looking at the full lineup, here's what we have. So we have the Lowdown Brass Band, which is hip hop and grooves, on Tuesday, June 20th. Then on June 27th, Classic Albums Live, Ziggy Stardust. That's going to be a David Bowie tribute. And then on July 11th, Winchester, which would be country. Then The Dip, R&B Soul, on July 18th. Then we take a little break for the Vail Dance Festival at the end of July, early August. And then we come back with the Hog Slop String Band with a little bluegrass music on August 17th. And then Jimmy's Dead, which is a Jimi Hendrix, Grateful Dead type of sound on August 22nd. And then Fruition, folk and rock on August 29th. And then on September 7th, we're doing the Vail Valley Foundation's community concert with the Other Brothers, which is an Allman Brothers tribute. And so musicians from the jam band scene, they unite to make up the Other Brothers, a high country tribute to the Allman Brothers Band, pulling from bands like Leftover Salmon, the High Hawks, Brothers Keeper, and Derek Trucks Band. And, there's others involved with this too. But it's a fun, upbeat group of friends that put on a great, lively show honoring one of America's greatest musical legacies. So that is going to be on September 7th. And that community concert has been something that the Vail Valley Foundation has done for quite a few years now, and it's just a nice little way to get the community together. Kind of things are winding down. It's after Labor Day, and that'll be on a Thursday, September 7th. So you just put these on your calendar every Tuesday night. Not every, but quite a few the Tuesday night. You can see this, and you can go to GRFA Vail. That stands for Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater Vail. .com for more information on this. And then we have a whole other lineup of paid shows. So those are also listed at the amphitheater. Shaky Graves is coming. We've got Classic Albums Live. We got a lot of different shows. Big Head Todd and the Monsters, that was just announced. Trombone Shorty and Orleans Avenue. We've got a lot of music coming to the Vail Valley. I think more than we've seen probably since the pandemic. So just wanted to give you the details. Hot Summer Nights returning. I think it's been going on for over 30 years. I'd love to see just the history of this. But I know I've been going for a long time, and it's a great time. All right, we'll be right back with more Vail Valley Live.
Hi, I'm Peggy Ziegler, fashion guru and stylist for the outlets at Silverthorne. I'm here to share with you an amazing place called the Colorado Welcome Center. We've got fabulous brochures on all the nearby places and towns and things to do right here while you're in Summit County and visiting the outlets at Silverthorne. And of course, pick up your Elite Savings Card booklet, offering you fabulous discounts and a rewards program too. See you soon.
Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery is kind of a one-stop shop. We have everything in-house.
We have cast techs, MRI machines, x-ray of course right at the clinic, physical therapy right at our clinic.
I'm going to get to the bottom of what your diagnosis is with all the resources we have, and that's what we do.
At My Future Pathways, our mission is to be the helping hand that enriches and elevates the lives of youth and families of our valley so they can reach their full potential. Through our holistic approach, our tutoring service and programming strengthen our community, develop self-worth, create opportunities, and promote values. We are My Future Pathways.
Welcome back to Vail Valley Live. I want to remind you once again that eastbound I-70 crash has been cleared at mile marker 176, which is the main Vail exit. So it is smooth sailing right now. But with the weather that's coming in today, tomorrow, the next couple of days, we could see, a few weather-related incidents out there on I-70. So do be aware of that. Always keep in touch with cotrip.org on your computer, or you can download their app to your phone, or check out Vail Daily. They usually have those breaking news alerts when closures on I-70 do happen. But, okay, for today, we've got a little sunshine out there right now. It's kind of a disorganized storm, if you will. We're looking at 32 degrees. We're only going to top out into the 40s, but we've got snow on the way. Winds will be out of the west, 10 to 15 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. So it won't be as windy as it was yesterday now that the storm system's kind of settled, but I just want to give you that heads up today. Probably our last big windy day will be today. And chance of precipitation later on today is around 80%, but total daytime accumulation maybe anywhere from 1 to 3 possible. And then tonight we could see maybe just another inch or two possible. So snow showers likely before 1 a.m. A little thunder could be possible also. Now for your Thursday, we'll be a little bit chillier on your Thursday. We'll have a high right around the 30s and overnight lows into the teens. And then for Friday, a chance of showers and the breezy conditions picking up once again as a high right around the 30s, overnight lows in the teens. Saturday, looks like we could kind of a mixed bag on Saturday. Maybe a little bit of snow and then maybe a little bit of partly sunny later on in the day. Otherwise, Sunday, we start to see a spike in temperatures once we get to Sunday. Vail's closing day of their 60th season, and then an overnight low of 15. So I think if you're going to be going out on the hill today, even though we've got a little bit of sunshine out there right now, I think what you want to do is err on the side of it getting snowier, getting stormier, getting windier. So I think goggles would be a good choice for you today. It's not going to be nearly as warm as what we saw yesterday or on Monday. So I would up and layer, and you can always take it off. You can always put it in the locker or bring a backpack. It's the springtime, just a lot of changing weather conditions, but we won't see a big swing in temperatures like we have the last couple of days. So that's a quick look at your weather. But let's reminisce about Beaver Creek. We had a great season there. The Villars celebrated its 25th anniversary. Beaver Creek's been around for what, 42, 43 years, and lots of snow. In fact, they rounded out pretty close to their seasonal average when they closed down on Sunday of last week. But a few things to look forward to. We've got Blues Brews and Barbecue coming up. We've got the Independence Day celebration. We've got a lot of things going on. And we've got Beaver Creek Unplugged. This is a new thing that they're doing as well on Thursday nights, starting June 22nd all the way through September 14th. And then 4th of July, Stars, Stripes, and Slides. Who doesn't love a water slide? I wonder if they let adults do that. But they've got the water slides out there for the kids, just those kind of slip and slides on the grass. And then Black Magic is going to be a Santana Experience tribute band. And then the fabulous Thunderbirds will be headlining. So that should be super cool. And then Oktoberfest, they are bringing it back. We'll have Helmut Fricker back here. We'll have Trachten Kapellek. And we'll have a tribute to Tom Petty. That's called The Breakers. And then Konstantin Maroulis will be kicking things off. And they've got music both days. So it's nice. We'll start the events at 11. Music usually starts around noon, goes to about 6. So it's a nice daytime activity. If the weather is perfect, there's no better place to be than Beaver Creek Oktoberfest. And check out the new steins. They'll be revealing those closer to the date. And everyone loves to collect those steins. And those are authentic Bavarian beer steins for Oktoberfest. So that's a quick look at what's going on up at the Beeve. And don't forget the Villar Center. They've got a ton of shows that are coming as well. Tickets are on sale already for some of these big shows. So that's another thing to consider. If you're going to be out here this summer, take a look at the schedule. Maybe schedule your trip around some of these shows, just so you can see what the Villar Center is like in case you've never been there. So that's what's going on today. Also, hey, the Colorado Snow Sports Museum just announced their Hall of Fame class of 2023. So we just wrapped up the U.S. National Hall of Fame, but now we are talking about the state of Colorado, and it represents folks from Telluride, Crested Butte, Aspen, Copper Mountain, Boulder, and Vail. And our very own Cheryl Jensen is being inducted into the inspirational category. So her contribution to the snow sports community has been life-saving, literally. She founded the Vail Veterans Program, and this is a program that started in 2004, and it helps wounded veterans and the families. They bring out the families for a lot of their programs. They do free programming, and they get them out on the mountain, whether it's skiing or snowboarding. It can be in adaptive equipment or not. They use the Vail Adaptive Ski and Snowboard School instructors out of Golden Peak. They start on Tier 12, and then they work their way all the way, sometimes to the back bowls. So it's just really neat to see how much this organization has grown. They'll be celebrating their 20th anniversary next year, and the amount of people that her organization has touched, and she started out as just kind of a, hey, maybe we'll just do this once. Her husband, Bill Jensen, used to be the CEO of Vail Mountain, ran that. She's like, hey, why don't we do this thing? And we'll invite some wounded veterans in. And then at the last dinner, they would do dinners all week at different places. At the last dinner, she had a person come up to her, a wounded veteran, and said, ma'am, I didn't know who you were or who, why you were doing this for us, but you literally saved my life. This gives these veterans with these various injuries so much more hope, and really the notion they can do more, and they can get out on the hill, they can conquer new challenges. And a lot of times Vail is their first stop outside of hospitals like Walter Reed and everything. So congrats, big bravo to Cheryl. She's among many others throughout the state of Colorado. So we'll be looking forward to that. They will be holding this event in August, Sunday, August 27th at the Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater. They've moved it outside the last couple of years. It used to be in a ballroom at the Marriott, the Hyatt, that sort of thing. But it's a great way to just celebrate the snow sports industry. Tickets just start at $50 for adults, with all proceeds going to the Colorado Snow Sports Museum, which is open daily starting at 11. So if you want to check out current Hall of Fame members, you can do so by stopping in. They've got several different exhibits. The 10th Mountain, that's a good one to enjoy. And then the history of the Olympics and equipment, it's all there. And they have a great gift shop as well. So that's going to be available for you in case you're cutting your ski and snowboard day short, or you're starting a little bit later. hop on in there and enjoy. But that's about wraps it up for today. Anything we missed, Leah? Did we get it all in? She's giving me the thumbs up. So, all right. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. Meredith is going to be in the studio. I'm going to be roaming around outside. And we've got some of the cast members from Big Fish that we'll be talking to. So it should be a great show. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you to our chatters. LA, it was great to hear from you. Thank you, Jerry from Alpine Holiday Services. And thank you, Rodney. Rodney, I sent my nephew my renewed passport application last week. Maybe you can go somewhere too. Oh, Megan chimed in. Looking forward to the community appreciation concert on Thursday night. Yes, Megan, we've got that going on. That starts at 3 o'clock. 3 different bands. They're giving away great prizes to Town of Vail employees, anyone that works in the town. So, yep, okay. She says, hope to see you there, Trisha and Leah. All right, Megan, it's a date. We'll see you there. All right, thanks so much, everyone, for chiming in. Steve Fisher, all the way from Hawaii, saying hello. Good to hear from you, Steve. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.